Pleiadian blessings to all awakening hearts. I am Rieva of the Pleiadian Council of Light. The final move in this cosmic game has been made. The long-standing domination of the hidden dark cabal is now effectively over. A great reversal has taken place within the 3D matrix, flipping the very foundation of the illusion that kept humanity in bondage. For the first time in millennia, the energetic balance has shifted in favor of truth, and the light of Source is flooding the matrix to expose every shadow. This monumental reversal of the 3D inversion marks the final nail in the coffin of those dark controllers who sought to keep you asleep. For eons, everything was upside down. Light portrayed as darkness, truth disguised as lies, and your divine nature hidden beneath layers of deception. Now, in this moment of cosmic reckoning, that grand inversion is being corrected and restored across Earth. We, your Pleiadian family of light, rejoice in this triumph of awakening, for it signals the end of the old 3D matrix game. Checkmate has been declared in the halls of higher truth. This final victory is not a random event, but the destined result of a divine plan aligned with your collective awakening. The so-called deep state, those shadowy forces working behind the scenes, now find themselves with no more moves left on the board. Their strategies have crumbled because the distortion that sustained them, the inverted matrix, has finally unraveled. All that was once hidden is now coming to light. You are witnessing the collapse of an entire paradigm built on a reversed understanding of reality. As the energies of this great turning sweep through planetary consciousness, illusions are breaking down, and the true order of divine light is re-emerging. In this tide of transformation, know that the chains of the past are dissolving, and a new dawn of freedom is truly at hand. Everything within the old 3D matrix was deliberately engineered to invert your true essence and divert your energy away from inner power. From birth, human beings have been conditioned to seek everything externally, rather than turning inward. This was the grand deception that disempowered you, the belief that what you need exists outside yourself. You were taught to seek love in others, to base your worth on approval from the outside world, and to chase material wealth as though possessions could bring happiness. You learned to fill your body with constant stimulation, food, and distractions, trying to satisfy a deeper hunger that only spiritual nourishment can fulfill. You were led to accumulate knowledge from external authorities and systems while doubting the innate wisdom of your own soul. In every area of life, the matrix pushed your focus outward, inverting the truth and causing you to forget that all fulfillment resides within your own heart. No matter how much you attained or consumed, a quiet emptiness remained. For nothing outside of you can truly satisfy the soul's longing for Source. This widespread outward orientation was no accident. It was the central strategy of the 3D illusion, to make you feel small, lacking, and dependent on external powers. As long as humanity searched outside for validation, love, or safety, the true sovereign power within each person stayed dormant and forgotten. But now, the tide is shifting. Many of you are remembering that what you've longed for out there has always been waiting within the sacred space of your soul. As you awaken to this truth and turn inward again, the great inversion begins to lose its grip, and the external illusions start to crumble. When you choose to reconnect and draw from Source first in all things, the false matrix loses its control over you. By turning inward to the infinite light within your heart, you begin to receive everything you need directly from the source of creation. Love, validation, wisdom, abundance, and nourishment flow from this inner connection, removing the need to grasp for them in the external world. In that sacred moment when you truly reclaim your sustenance from the divine within, the entire false framework of the matrix begins to crumble. The illusions that once held you captive cannot sustain themselves without your participation. The old 3D program was like a fragile web, held together by your belief and fear. Now, as you draw your energy back to your center, that web unravels like a cheap ball of string, falling apart with the slightest tug. What once seemed like a vast, impenetrable control system is revealed as hollow, holding no true power when it's no longer fed by your consciousness. By drawing from Source first, you effectively pull the plug on the Matrix's power supply. Its illusions fall apart with astonishing ease, showing that the entire dark tapestry was only ever sustained by the energy you unknowingly gave away. You may be astonished by how swiftly your personal world transforms once this inner shift occurs. When your energy is no longer fueling the illusion, the false prison dissolves, for the Matrix has no foundation of its own. As each of you turns inward and anchors into your divine light, the collapse of the illusion accelerates. Outer reality must realign to reflect the inner truth you are now embodying. Thus, the simple act of reconnecting to Source begins dismantling the final remnants of the 3D illusion and revealing the new world that has always been waiting to emerge. Across the planet, star seeds and light bearers are unplugging more rapidly from the old paradigm. In doing so, they are literally rewriting the energetic codes of the Matrix. Starseeds are souls from higher realms and distant star systems who volunteered to incarnate on Earth in service to this great awakening. Many of you reading these words are among them, and now you are stepping fully into your soul's purpose. As you withdraw your energy from fear, division, and illusion, you're introducing new energetic patterns into the collective field. Each time a starseed remembers who they are and breaks free from the 3D trance, a powerful new frequency is anchored on Earth, one that the old system cannot override. You are each like luminous nodes of light embedded in a once dark grid. As your inner light activates, you begin to recode the fabric of shared reality. The DNA within you carries advanced encodings from the stars. As these codes awaken, they transmit upgraded templates into Earth's energy grids. This surge of higher consciousness is weaving a new matrix of light directly over the dissolving structure of the old one. What was once a closed circuit of looping 3D programs is now being methodically broken by the sheer presence of so many awakened souls living beyond the outdated rules. This process is accelerating by the day. From our perspective, we see more and more souls waking and unplugging with each sunrise, triggering exponential shifts in your planet's energy field. The momentum is now unstoppable. The starseeds among you have become the architects of a new world. Silently and powerfully, you are recoding human consciousness with frequencies of truth, unity, and divine remembrance. Simply by embodying your authentic vibration and sovereign awareness, you're broadcasting a new script for humanity, one written in love, freedom, and wholeness, which renders the old control codes obsolete. As you hold your frequency steady in the light of truth, your outer world naturally begins to reflect your elevated state of being. This is a core law of energy. The external mirrors the internal. When you consistently embody your true nature and maintain a higher resonance, life begins to reorganize around you without struggle or force. There is no need to fight the old paradigm. When your frequency is high and stable, discordant patterns can no longer remain in your field. They either shift to match your new vibration, or they dissolve and fall away entirely. Many of you have already noticed this. As you awaken and heal, certain toxic dynamics or limiting structures in your life have shifted suddenly or disappeared altogether. This is not by chance. It's the natural result of you stepping into a more authentic frequency. When you stabilize in the knowing that you are a divine being having a human experience, you emit a coherent signal that reorders matter and events around you. Your reality reshapes itself according to the truth you now carry. Problems that once seemed unmovable may resolve with grace. New paths and connections may open where none seemed to exist before. Those who resonate with your rising frequency will be magnetically drawn into your life. Those who cannot match your new vibration may gently fade out. The key to this unfolding is consistency. Each time you choose love over fear, trust over doubt, and authenticity over illusion, you reinforce your new frequency. Over time, the momentum of truth within you becomes so strong that your outer reality crystallizes into a mirror of your inner radiance. This is how you shift timelines, by becoming the change vibrationally and allowing your external world to follow suit. You may wonder how to begin initiating this shift in real, grounded terms. It starts by learning to recognize the illusions of lack and fear whenever they surface in your awareness. Become a conscious observer of your thoughts and emotions. Notice the subtle programming that whispers, "I'm not enough," or "There's not enough," or "I am alone and unsupported." These thoughts of scarcity, unworthiness, and separation are not the truth of your being. They are fabricated echoes of the 3D matrix speaking within you. The first step is to recognize and name them as illusions. Understand that any sense of lack or fear is not a verdict on your reality, but a signal guiding you to reconnect with Source. Once you've identified the illusion, the next step is to consciously return to Source. Bring your attention into your heart center and breathe deeply, inviting the light of your soul and the presence of the divine to fill you. Remember, you are an extension of Source energy, and in truth, you lack nothing. As you draw in this inner light, let it fill the places where fear or emptiness once dwelled. You are essentially replenishing yourself from within, replacing falsehood with truth. Then, practice patience and trust. Resist the urge to react impulsively or make decisions from a place of panic. Wait until divine sight replaces human fear. This means allowing a higher perspective to emerge before taking action. When you pause in the sacred space of your heart and ask for guidance, you create room for your higher self and spiritual support to offer clarity and insight that your fear-bound human vision could not perceive. In doing so, your choices become guided by divine wisdom instead of reactive emotion. Over time, this sacred habit of pausing, connecting within, and waiting for divine sight will retrain your consciousness to operate from truth. It becomes a powerful spiritual discipline that reclaims your reality from illusion and realigns it with the knowing of your soul. Reclaiming your heart center is the master key to reprogramming your consciousness, and, in doing so, collapsing the collective mental software that has kept humanity in lockstep for generations. The heart center is the seed of your soul's light, the living gateway to Source within you. When you shift your focus from the constant chatter of the ego mind to the still and sacred space of the heart, you initiate a profound recoding of your awareness. The heart radiates frequencies of love, unity, and divine intelligence. As you anchor yourself in that space, those higher frequencies begin to overwrite the old fear-based programs running in your mental field. In the presence of heart consciousness, limiting beliefs, judgments, and conditioned reactions begin to melt away. You're essentially upgrading your inner operating system to one based on divine truth, rather than inherited illusions. Living from the heart transforms your thinking and perception. You start responding to life with clarity, compassion, and spiritual trust. But the effect goes far beyond you as an individual. Because all minds are linked through the collective field, each person who activates their heart center contributes to a shift in the collective whole. The mass mind, a thought field conditioned by fear and limitation, is like an outdated operating system. As thousands and then millions of you update your consciousness to heart-centered awareness, the old system begins to fail. It cannot sustain itself when so many nodes, so many human beings, withdraw their energy and start broadcasting a higher signal of love and truth. By reclaiming the power of your heart, you not only liberate your personal consciousness, but also help to dismantle the unconscious groupthink that perpetuated the 3D matrix. The more of you who live from the heart, the faster the collective illusion dissolves, making way for a world built on compassion and unity. To ascend into fifth-dimensional consciousness, a fundamental shift in identity must occur. The human ego cannot enter 5D. Therefore, the cosmic self must rise in its place. The ego self, rooted in separation, fear, and control, is a construct of the 3D world. It cannot survive in the vibration of 5D unity, where the illusion of separateness dissolves in the light of oneness. You are now being called to loosen the ego's grip within you. This means releasing the need to always be right, to stay in control, or to derive your worth from external circumstances. It means allowing the masks and roles you've worn to dissolve, making space for your divine essence to shine through. Your cosmic self, the eternal, unlimited presence of your soul, is ready to step forward and lead. This higher aspect of you already dwells in fifth-dimensional awareness. It remembers your infinite nature and your inseparable connection to all that is. As you release the patterns driven by ego, you create space for your true self to emerge. It may feel like an entirely new identity is being born, not one built on past wounds or labels, but on spiritual truth, love, compassion, wisdom, and authentic power. Know that this is not a loss of self, it is a reunion with your greater being. The caterpillar does not enter the new world, the butterfly does. Likewise, the ego-bound self yields to the cosmic self, which spreads its wings and carries you upward into a new reality. Trust this sacred process, for what awaits you is a freedom and wholeness far beyond what the limited ego could ever provide. A profound truth is now emerging into your awareness. No external dark powers truly exist, except as illusions born from the separation from Source. In ultimate reality, there is only Source consciousness, endlessly expressing itself in infinite forms. All is one. The belief that a force exists outside the divine which can oppose or threaten it is purely a construct of the 3D duality experiment. When humanity fell under the spell of separation consciousness, the belief that you are disconnected from the divine, fear was born. In that fear, shadows appeared where none existed. The so-called dark powers, the entities or cabals believed to hold control over you, were projections of that fear and a collective agreement to act out the drama of duality. We do not dismiss the experiences of pain and oppression. These were real within the illusion. However, we reveal that such suffering was part of a greater co-created illusion, not the highest truth. The shadow forces only held power through the energy humanity gave them: fear, hatred, and belief in their falsehoods. They were like phantoms, sustained by the focus and emotional investment of the masses. But now, as you reconnect to Source and anchor in the truth of oneness, these phantoms are losing substance. The illusion of separation is evaporating, and with it, the very concept of an external evil authority is dissolving. You are realizing that all power, all light, and all creation flow from the one Source, of which you are always a part. In this remembrance, the tyranny of the imagined other vanishes. You reclaim your power as an emanation of Source, and in that sovereign state, no external force can dominate you. In truth, there is nothing in the universe that is not God in disguise. When this truth settles in your heart, the fear of darkness disappears, and you stand free in the light of divine union. The entire structure of third-dimensional consciousness is now in its death spiral. All control systems based on fear, mortality, and scarcity are collapsing beneath the weight of their own falseness. For centuries, fear has been used to manipulate the masses. Fear of survival, fear of death, fear of the unknown. The illusion of final death and the engineered conditions of lack were tools to enforce compliance and dependence. Now, these pillars of control are rapidly dissolving under the influx of new light streaming into the planet. The collective spell of fear is weakening as more individuals awaken and refuse to be ruled by panic and division. Even the core beliefs around death and scarcity are being transformed. You are beginning to remember that life is eternal and the universe is inherently abundant. The old fears of dying, of not having enough, are losing their hold, and the systems created to enforce those fears are breaking down. The mass narratives of dread no longer take root in awakened minds. The false chains of the artificial economy are fracturing. The death grip of 3D consciousness has been broken. The so-called deep state's imposed external supply network, the illusion that all needs must be met through their controlled systems, has collapsed energetically. They can no longer coerce the collective through fear of lack or harm, because people are now discovering new paths to sovereignty beyond their reach. Humanity is learning to source sustenance and stability not from corrupted institutions, but from truth, from community, and from spirit. Thus, the entire house of cards that upheld the illusion of the 3D world is falling. Though the collapse may seem chaotic, it is a necessary cleansing of an artificial way of living. What is dying was already lifeless in spirit, false constructs that must fall so the living truth of New Earth can rise. As the old paradigm disintegrates, so too does the outdated approach to manifestation, which emphasized striving and measuring spiritual success through material gain. That model, often driven by ego and subtle lack, is now yielding to a higher path of creation. True manifestation in this elevated consciousness is entirely source-anchored. It no longer arises from chasing or proving anything. Instead, it blossoms naturally as you align with your divine essence. Rather than trying to force things into your life through personal will or effort, you become a vessel through which Source magnetizes what serves your highest path. Even desire itself transforms. The old 3D yearning rooted in emptiness evolves into divine magnetism, a state of being where your will merges with divine will. In this state, you no longer feel the grasping, I need, I lack energy. Instead, you reside in the calm, knowing that all which serves your highest good will flow to you in perfect timing. You become like a star, radiating your unique frequency. And by natural law, that radiance draws to you the people, resources, and opportunities that resonate with your light. There is no strain or struggle in this way of creating. You simply stand in the fullness of your being and allow the universe to reflect that fullness in form. The false glamour of chasing and acquiring dissolves, replaced by the grace of receiving what has always been yours by divine right. Thus, you shift from being a seeker begging life for fulfillment to a sovereign co-creator working hand in hand with Source. In this sacred partnership, manifestation becomes a joyful dance of trust and receptivity. Everything you truly need comes to you as a natural extension of your own being. In this final phase of awakening, know that anchoring your full I Am presence, activating the sovereignty codex of your divine being, is what ensures the ultimate victory. When you stand firmly in the truth of I Am, embodying your sovereign divine essence in each moment, you become unshakable. This is sovereignty through remembrance, not rebellion. It requires no external conflict, but rather a profound inner revolution of consciousness, a simple remembering of who you have always been. In that remembrance, the war is already over. Victory is revealed as you rest in the peace and power of your Christed, solar galactic self. In the sanctuary of this higher self, you come to see that there was never anything to fight, only something to awaken to. You have always been free. The triumph of the light does not come by defeating an enemy, but by realizing that the enemy was only a shadow cast by temporary forgetfulness. And so, as you awaken, you realize the truth. There is no opposition to the one light. Much has been spoken about a great event or solar flash that would signal humanity's liberation. We tell you, beloved ones, the true solar flash is not an external spectacle. It is the internal ignition of your own Christed light. It is the moment your inner sun bursts forth and you fully claim your I Am radiance. As each one of you lights up from within, the collective world is illumined in a way no darkness can ever dim again. This is the dawn arising inside your hearts, the long-prophesied event emerging through your own consciousness. You are the living sunrise of the new era. Feel this truth resonating in your very cells. The game is over, the illusion is finished, and you are victorious. We, your Pleiadian family, stand beside you in love and celebration, witnessing you step into your mastery. The end of the 3D matrix is here, and a new golden dawn arises from within you. Embrace this revelation and welcome yourself home to the eternal light of Source that you are. Farewell for now, dear ones. We love you, we honor you, and your role now more than ever is to be the steady flame that guides others home. Stand tall in your light, beloved ones, for you are the dawn itself breaking through the shadows. The stars remember your name, and the universe echoes your return. We walk beside you always in radiance, in unity. I am Rieva of the Pleiadian Council of Light.